And then the last guest, Ed, I know you made an attempt, would be Doc McGhee. His appearances on that Paramount Plus doc ain't nothing but a good time. He absolutely killed it. And obviously, he managed Motley Crue, Pat Travers, Bon Jovi, Skids in the 80s, Kiss in 96. I mean, I would love to hear his involvement in the 96 reunion, how he got that. But just overall, I mean, here you're talking about one of the power managers of all time. And if you could ever get him in the studio or get an interview, that would be great. And thank you so much again, Ed, for taking my call as always. I really appreciate it. And Happy New Year to you.
Doc McGhee, who Angelo also requested. That's something I can absolutely make another swing at happening now. And here's why. Because I'm pretty sure that Doc is kind of retired. And I also am pretty sure that we know that Kiss is kind of retired. And that now might be a good time that he'll be comfortable being able to come on and talk to me. Because I know him. And I like him very much, and we've known each other for a long time. Not very well, but well enough to say hello. And I'll tell you, I mean, there's a crazy story, which if you are unaware of this story, I'll tell you. It was roughly 8 years ago, something like that. It was for this actual show. And I was in L.A., and I had Doc booked to be a guest for the whole show in studio in L.A. At the time, that's where he was living. He doesn't live in L.A. anymore. I think he's in Florida now. And he was on his way to the studio. We had pre-promoted it. I'm literally on the air waiting for him to walk in the door. And I'm on the air saying that he's coming up and he's our guest today. And he is basically in the garage of our building in L.A. And he gets a phone call from, leave it to your imagination who that phone call may have come from, but got a phone call and he had to do a 180 and check out of doing the interview. Folks, I couldn't make it up if I tried. So he literally turned around in the parking lot, expressed he was sorry that he had to do that. I told him I completely understand because I don't expect somebody to jeopardize a relationship with a top client over a radio interview. And he bailed on the interview. Now, a couple weeks later, he reached out to me and said, you know what? I'm sorry I did that, and I will still, I'm happy to come on your show anytime you want to do it. And we never did it. So now, especially with all that time that's passed, and now with Kiss assumingly being retired, and Doc, I think, is kind of retired, I think that he'd probably be way up for doing it. So, Angelo, it's absolutely something I'll look into because I'd love to do it too. All his stories. Again, that was the thrust of like when that whole thing happened. I remember saying to him, I go, you realize like, I don't only want to have you here to talk about Kiss, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, all of it, But obviously at that time, Kiss was his biggest client. It's all so silly, but I'm just telling you the truth of what happened. So again, hopefully we can make that happen. It would be wonderful to make that happen. It'd be a great conversation. I agree. And I'll see about that at some point, hopefully in the near future, if he'd be up for it. And by the way, that goes, like, as I've said repeatedly, anything related to Kiss, past, present, future, current, All are always welcome. Always. You can't make somebody do something they don't want to do, but all are always welcome. It would be wonderful to talk to Tommy and Eric now. I'm assuming they're done. I'm assuming their deal with Kiss is done. So maybe they're able to do it. I'd love to have those. I know both of those guys very well. So I don't know if it's still too soon, but I'd love to have them both on. Separately, together, whatever. Door is more than open. So we'll see. Who knows what happens going forward? One last thing, since we're talking about Kiss, and more people are sending me emails and social media posts about this, that they are teasing stuff for 2025. They are teasing stuff for the new year. And it is leading people to wonder if they are actually going to play again. I have no idea. And if it was me, I would say it's highly unlikely that they would do a show again. Certainly a full makeup stage show deal. But I think probably what's happening, and I'm just speculating here, but, it's been about a year of nothing. And this company that bought the whole Kiss empire, this company called Pop House, from my view, have spent the last year kind of figuring out what they're going to do with this investment that they just spent hundreds of millions of dollars on. And they're probably now getting to the point where they're going to start rolling out some stuff. Whether it's reissues, whether it's merch, whether it's more teasing of this avatar, whether it's something. My take is that I'm sure that Gene and Paul, as part of that deal, have to still be the front person and the salespeople for whatever this company decides they want to do with the brand. So I think that's where this is going. I think you're probably going to get some sort of, product, reissue, catalog, previously unreleased album, stuff like that. But where it's being driven by, and more than one person sent me this, is I guess there was a Happy New Year post from the Kiss social media, which ended with, "We'll be seeing you in 2025, which led the fan base to get lathered up thinking they're going to tour again. There's going to be shows again. Look, if they try to come back and tour yet again after yet another farewell, nothing would surprise me, but I really honestly don't think that's what it's going to be. It could be that they're going to do their cruise again, because that was suspended. But if they did, maybe they don't play on it. Maybe there was talk of that. So it could be things like that. I seriously doubt it's like a full-blown we're back reunions thing, honestly. There's always been this speculation that their kids are going to do a version of Kiss. Who knows? Any of that could be on the table. But the idea of yet coming back completely again, I think is pretty unlikely. But again, I put nothing past them. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, we'll continue talking with you. It's awesome, having these open phones, man, and seeing what we get into. You never know. So thank you for that. We will continue talking anything you want in rock music right after this quick break on a Monday on Trunk Nation. We'll be right back.